Josko Gvardiol to Manchester City is finally going to be complete as Manchester City are about to make their second signing of the transfer window. We'll talk about that. Also, Tino Livramento has moved from Southampton to Newcastle for a whopping fee. We'll get into those details there and Newcastle's summer transfer window so far. Also, Robert Sanchez here we go for that move from Brighton to Chelsea as competition for Kepa Arrizabalaga. We've got those transfers and much more to discuss, even over the other side in North London, the white side with the Lily Whites in Tottenham Hotspur looking to make two signings. Does that mean Harry Kane is out the door? Guys, stay tuned as we are here for the Tereak Talking Transfers Show. Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well and welcome back to Tereak Talks. Hope you're keeping well, people. Hope you've all had a fantastic week so far, as it is Thursday here when we're recording and when we're streaming, in fact. So, yes, we are fast approaching the weekend. I hope you've all had a fantastic week. And the fact that you are here, the fact that you're breathing is all good signs. And I'm glad that you are here. And I hope that this can be something for you to enjoy whenever you watch it. If you're watching here live on your Thursday evening, on your Thursday night, or even possibly Thursday morning or afternoon, or Friday morning or afternoon, yeah, if you're watching. But I hope you're keeping well, people. And yes, big up to each and every one of you that's here watching live right now. If you haven't done so already, smash that like button. We've got King and Fads in the house. I keep reading the name, but you're a long time subscriber, so I hope you're keeping good. King says, big up to you, Money. Big up to yourself as well, King. Hope you're keeping well and good. And the same goes for you, Fads. He says, T, Tereak Talking Transfers, exactly, the quadruple T. And he's talking about Gabriel Jesus there. We'll talk about those things towards the end, but we'll have to get right into it. And he's asking a question in regards to Gvardiol, so I'll keep that there ready for when we get into that part of the section. But we may as well kick off with that transfer with Josko Gvardiol, who is making that move to Manchester City. Fabrizio Romano reported a few weeks back about this, and he even got a community note on Twitter. If you're not too familiar with that, it means that Twitter, what they have done since Elon Musk has taken over, one of the good things is whenever you see a tweet that has gone viral and it has misinformation, they were saying that Fabrizio Romano was spreading misinformation with the "here we go" tweet, and yeah, they put some context saying it wasn't agreed. There's no agreement that's been reached by Manchester City and RB Leipzig, but that has now happened. And he tweeted an hour ago, Manchester City and Leipzig have just signed the documents. Josko Gvardiol can be considered a new City player. It's 90 million euros, which works around about 78 million pounds, which is the final fixed fee and no add-ons included. A long-term deal already agreed in June for Josko Gvardiol. Josko will travel to Manchester tonight and complete his medical on Friday. Here we go, confirmed. Hoping that this isn't this. I'm sure Fabrizio was hoping, and Manchester City fans, that he won't get community noted on this one, and it's all but done. And it's a massive fee for a young defender in Josko Gvardiol, who is certainly highly rated and had a lot of attractors and suitors. Who being Chelsea, which was that last summer. Yeah, on deadline day, Chelsea tried to make a late surge for him. But they did end up getting a player from Leipzig in Christopher Nkunku, but they really tried to push the boat, and it was even here we go by Fabrizio Romano, and that's probably the second one that with the Josko Gvardiol that he's fumbled on. But yeah, it looks like his third time looking, he's got this one right. And for Manchester City, it's a massive signing in an area where they weren't bad in it all last season, but it just provides that strength in depth, refreshing that area where Fads brought up about Aymeric Laporte, someone who didn't get many minutes last season as City transitioned into this defense that they've got now when they build up with a 3-2, and their left-sided centre-back usually goes out and defends as a left-back. So they have that sort of hybrid role, which requires a lot of athleticism, which Josko certainly brings, a lot of pace, and a lot of strength as well. The physical traits needed is quite high. He's quite high. Where Nathan Ake was so revered by Manchester City fans last season and really stamped his place in that City team, and he had a fantastic season. But what we also saw towards the end with Nathan Ake is he started to pick up a few more injuries in that hamstring area. He came back and then picked up another one because he missed the Arsenal game when Manchester City beat us 4-1. He didn't play in that because of his injury. Manuel Akanji shifted to left back, which is obviously not his preferred position, and for a right-footed centre back to defend in on that side is more difficult. But he did a very good job in those games when he was called upon to defend there. But now you've got someone who is much more capable. I remember seeing him play against England when England won by 1-0. Raheem Sterling scored in England's first game of the Euros. Gvardiol was actually playing as a left back. He came through in the Dinamo Zagreb playing as a centre back into there and filling in that left back position from time to time. That's where he really made his name, and that's where I started to notice him. He was a very top prospect on Football Manager, so those of you who played that game will be familiar with his name there as a young teenage centre back playing in that first team, playing in the European top competitions in the Champions League and the Europa League as well. Made that move to Leipzig and into Germany, and he's just continued to grow from there. And where he kind of made his name, became sort of a household name and really stamped his authority on that football world and being one of the best young centre-backs was in the last World Cup for Croatia. He was phenomenal in that World Cup tournament, wearing that face mask that he had to wear, similar to Victor Osimhen, but he was fantastic in that World Cup for Croatia, in the heart, being that rock solid base and that heart of their defense at such a young age on the biggest stage, shows that he's got the mentality, which is the first and foremost for these players and what Manchester City look at, but also the ability to perform on the biggest stage as well. And he's only gone and continued to improve, and there's a lot more in his game that he can improve with that athleticism, his aerial ability. He's comfortable in possession. It's a perfect centre-back for Pep Guardiola, and he certainly improves their depth right there, as the futures of the likes of Kyle Walker is still uncertain. We haven't really heard too much about that recently, which is interesting because he was heavily. There was a lot of reports that he agreed to make that move to Bayern Munich. It was just between Manchester City and the Bavarian club to decide that there. We're still waiting on that, and it seems to have hit a stalemate. The longer this goes on, the more likely that you'll see Kyle Walker stay. Because Pep Guardiola, it's a weird situation because Pep Guardiola said towards the end of last season that he doesn't see Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker, he struggles to play in his football. This is me paraphrasing, but I remember reading that headline from a press conference, and that was something that kind of struck out to me because Kyle Walker has been a stalwart at the back and someone that Pep Guardiola has relied upon on the big occasions. And you saw him come in for those games against Real Madrid, have a really good battle with Vinicius Jr. at the Santiago Bernabeu. I think both players could come out with their heads held high, given the form that Vinicius Jr. has been in the last previous 2 seasons, one of the best wide men in the world. And yeah, it was a good head-to-head battle there. And then he obviously got the better of him in the Etihad as Manchester City breezed their way past Real Madrid in the end. And yeah, being a treble winner and Kyle Walker being one of the mainstay, one of the leaders in that team, even when he's not playing, he still has a massive influence. And even before I started the stream, I was listening to Alexander Zinchenko we talk with Rio Ferdinand on Vibe with Five. I think, yeah, that's what it is. I just call it Five. But yeah, and he was talking about how Kyle Walker, his footwork, defensive footwork, is the best he's ever seen, and he's got that explosive pace, and he's still got that at the age of 33. So yeah, it's interesting there. But bring it, if he does decide to leave, you've got a Josko Gvardiol who isn't more on that left side, but provide cover, which allow the likes of Akanji and Stones to rotate in that right side of centre back position, as we have seen Pep Guardiola go with more of like a flat four in terms of centre backs, but rotating in and out of possession with John Stones stepping into midfield. I think Josko Gvardiol could be a centre back that could certainly do that. He's got the athleticism, which I've spoken about a lot already. And if he can develop that in his game, he's got the ball playing ability to be playing in there in the other thirds of the pitch, in the middle third in particular. And yeah, that's what we kind of saw from John Stones, even entering the final third from the first third in the build-up play and being a key part there. You could definitely see Josko turning into one of those Pep prodigies, and if he does have that time to learn, he can he will have that time with Manchester City. Don't think he'll make an impact straight away in terms of starting as many games as he will, but hey, we could be proven wrong. We've seen Ruben Dias come in and have an instant impact, and look at him, he's now one of the best centre backs in the world. We'll have to wait and see for Josko Gvardiol, but I do think he will be a good signing for them, just shy under that record that Manchester United set for a centre back, with it being 78 million pounds. So yeah, he's not going to be the record fee that a lot of Man United fans just wanted to shake off their back now, but Gvardiol's not going to be there. And as Fad says there, surely Laporte will leave City now, as Gvardiol, Diaz, Stones, and Ake. Wow, what a defense that is that you've got there. And you've got the likes of Akanji, Rico Lewis. What's his future going to look like there as they've kind of reshaped their backline? But what a backline that will be. It looks on paper. And yeah, I'm sure in the long term it will be a solid one. It will be interesting to see how he does in his first season, though, because we've seen a lot of Pep signings struggle. But to answer your question, 100%, I'm more than confident that Aymeric Laporte will leave City now. And the only reason he hasn't left Manchester City at this stage is because of this deal, and just waiting and making sure that this deal gets through the line. And then Aymeric Laporte, you're free to go. Will be interesting to see where he does go. Will he make another move to a Premier League team? I remember seeing Aston Villa interested in him, but now they've got Pau Torres. Doesn't look like they need a centre back in that area on that left side. But yeah, Laporte's got the quality to be playing in most Premier League teams. Could get into literally about 17, maybe even 18 Premier League teams starting lineup for sure. And that's just the strength in depth that Manchester City have had. But now, because the players have had that success and they've done their duty, they're in search of game time. And someone with Aymeric Laporte at the age that he's at, let me just have a look to see how old he is. He's 29, so he's approaching his 30s. And the latter end, in his peak now, in his prime of his career, I'd say, not the latter end. But yeah, because for centre backs around this age is where they're up their prime, when they've got a good understanding of the game, and they've still got, should be at this age, at their physical peak. With Laporte, it might be a little bit different because of those injuries that he sustained. But yeah, surely he'll want to leave now and play football. Could go to Spain, could go to France because he is French, of course, but plays for Spain due to his time at Athletic Bilbao in the Basque country, where you see a lot of players do that. Antoine Griezmann, who is French but could have represented Spain because of that part of Spain and France quite close together, and they speak both languages in Basque and French. So yeah, that's just a little lesson right there. But good evening to yourself, Mr. 200. Hope you're keeping well. It's weird, we are competing for a second place every season now because we all know who's winning. Yeah, Man City will continue to be the favourites, but I don't share that same sentiment, Fads, to be quite honest, because there is a lot of turnover at Manchester City. Gvardiol, top player, and I think he will be a success in the long term. But with the likes of Gundogan, Laporte, potentially Kyle Walker, potentially Riyad Mahrez leaving. We could see some teething, you know what I'm saying? Some when I say teething problems, just City in a transition, and losing key figures in the dressing room, key players who have stepped up in big moments for the team out there, the blue side in Manchester, and off the back of that treble winning victory, it will be interesting to see how they do, like even just having from the hunger perspective of that desire to keep going and keep winning. Sometimes I've heard boxers speak about this a lot. Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson, and you've even seen it with like Anthony Joshua. When you're at the top, it's kind of hard. It's harder to have sustain that motivation and hunger and drive to keep being at the top, which is why Manchester City and Pep Guardiola deserve so much praise, because that's 3 Premier Leagues they won in a row. Because it is harder to do that, and those below them have that hunger, have that drive, and you have that target on your back. And if you're not quite at that level, you can be punished. And we saw that for the first part of the season, but towards the end, their experience, their confidence, Pep Guardiola managing those moments, carried them through to the end in all 3 competitions. But yeah, it'll be interesting if they do bring back some of that squad depth that they have lost in those 2 players, in Gundogan and Mahrez in particular, and potentially with Laporte. Well, that's sorted, but Kyle Walker in particular as well. Big up each and every one of you that's watching here live. Smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Big up Bargav in the place. Hope he's doing good. Says big up its first place only option. Big up yourself there as an Arsenal fan. And he's saying expecting a Champions League run. Big up Peony Ween in the building. Hope you're doing good and well. Saying trying to get into the NHL. So I've been reading up on all the stories of players hitting it. Whoa. That's a mad turn. But big up yourself, Peony, in the building. Hope you had a great time watching the Arsenal yesterday. Let me know your thoughts as well. And he's saying football / soccer is number 1. But yeah, football. Paxson in the building saying the waffle merchant doing what he does best. Of course, I've waffled on about Josko Gvardiol for 17 minutes there. So yeah, no, I always love waffling about football with you guys, and we'll get into this one next. So let me save you there. You're great transitioning into the next topics. Big up Realist in the building too, and big up Ty. I hope you're doing good. It's been a long time, my brother, but I hope you're keeping well. It's great to see you in the chat. Hope mum and dad are keeping good. Give them my love. Send them over across from Big T here. So now big up yourself, Ty. Great to see you. And I hope you're keeping good and enjoying your summer holidays. Vibes in the building too, the main man T. And let's move on into what Fads has just said here about the £40 million for Tino Livramento, who has made that switch, and it has been completed from Southampton to Newcastle. And wow, it is a massive fee. That's the first thing that stands out for someone who didn't play most of last season due to the injury picked up towards the end of the season before against Brighton, which was a horrific knee injury that kept him out for so long. But towards the end, he started to get a few minutes under his belt. But by then, it was too late to make an impact on Southampton's Premier League campaign. But what we saw in those the season prior to last, so in that 2021-2022 season, he was outstanding. Southampton signed him from the Chelsea Academy. He came from Chelsea. At the time when they signed him, he was Chelsea's Young Player of the Year in their academy, and he was outstanding. I did get to watch him a few times as I was trying to keep an eye on the Arsenal players coming through. And you know how Chelsea's academy has been of late, them and Manchester City out of this world. But he was one of the ones to watch. Someone that could play in that right back position, played a lot in the right mid role. Someone who came into midfield, played on the wing, played at left back also at times. He was phenomenal, and he came into the first team, and he just took to it like a duck to water. His first game was against Everton, I remember watching that, and on Match of the Day, I didn't watch it live. It was one of them 3 o'clock kickoffs, but he was receiving a lot of praise, and you was in terms of performance, and you could definitely see the potential there. But the first game that I actually watched live, Fads, I believe you was here, of Tino Livramento, was that Southampton versus Manchester United 1-1 draw, and he was outstanding. And he certainly looked like a real talent, real prospect, and he had a lot of Man United fans talking about in them. If we need a right back, because it weren't quite working well with Wan-Bissaka at that point, Tino Livramento is the guy who can do it going defensively and going forwards, provides a lot of energy and a lot of quality in the final third as well. So Tino Livramento certainly shown that, but then the injury came, and he was outstanding throughout the remainder of that season under Ralph Hasenhüttl, but then picked up that injury. So it's a massive risk from Newcastle to be even signing the lad, because you don't know how he's going to come back after this injury in terms of physically being in that right shape, how it might even affect him in the long term with his fitness. We've seen Gabriel Jesus, who's had to have surgery, arthroscopic surgery, keyhole surgery on his knee because of the previous knee injury he picked up. And Arsenal fans were hoping and praying that this isn't going to be something that plagues him for the rest of his career. But we've seen that with knee injuries a lot of the time. And it's so complicated in terms of the road to recovery, especially at any level. It has been for as long as time with these professional athletes, and it's not got any easier. There's a lot more advancements in the science, and with the surgeries, and doctors and physios are doing a great job in getting players back and as close to their prime as possible. But we don't know yet. So to splash £40 million on him is a big risk. But with the potential that we saw, in his first season at Southampton in the Premier League, he can most definitely reach it. Most definitely, if he can get back to those fitness levels. He has missed a year out in his development, but he's still quite young. Let's get the age of him right now. I believe he's early 20s. Tino Livramento, early 20s? Yeah, 20, still 20 years of age. So he was really good in his first season, 18, 19, into playing first team Premier League football for Southampton. We have signed a lot of good young players from the Chelsea Academy, from Manchester City as well. But yeah, it's a big signing, and with someone, where they've got Kieran Trippier there. So he's got someone who's brilliant to learn from at a high level, with a lot of experience in the game, good leadership from Kieran Trippier. Also, he will have that time to develop, and I guess that makes the transition easier. Getting back playing football, he won't be relied upon in playing so many minutes. What a player, and good depth now in that right back position. And as Kieran Trippier is in the latter end of his career, age 32, coming 33 this season, with Champions League football, rotating him isn't going to cause such a drop off as when they had Javi Manquillo. So it's good depth for Newcastle, and a good player for the future, and someone who can stake a claim in for that first team if he does return back to those levels. So I do rate this guy highly. And in the early days of Tereak Talks, if you guys were there, I was praising this guy a lot. I think I've got one of the old videos when I did, and I'm thinking about returning that for this season. By the way, I did one player to watch for each team. He was the one for Southampton, because I heard a lot of good things about him at Chelsea. When I seen him play, he was definitely one of their best players coming through that academy. Serious player, Tino Livramento. So we'll have to see if it's going to work out for him. The only doubts I have is to do with his fitness, of course. But as a player, he's got the raw tools, got the energy, the pace, the composure in that final third. Can whip a ball into the box, can defend well in 1v1s. He's quite tall as well. Let me have a look at him, because when I saw him, he was very good in the air, dealing with the long balls into the air. Let me have a look at his height, what we're seeing on transfer marks, not Wikipedia. That's probably not the most reliable. So what, he's about 5'9", 1.73 meters. So that's around about 5'9", so he's not the tallest, but still that's enough. That's tall enough in the end for a fullback. But yeah, he had quite good aerial duels as well. I don't have the statistics to hand, but yeah, when I do pause, when I do the stream of ones to watch, I'm certainly going to be looking into Livramento a bit more. So there's a little there's a little hint in terms of who I'll be looking for Newcastle there. Let's hear your thoughts about these transfers. Big up yourself. Bro, bad to skip the comments because he's waffling. Hey, I've got to get through. I've got to get through the topics. Also, I've got to get through the game that we're going to play. If you watch the last Talking Transfers show, you'll know what we're talking about there. But yeah, we'll definitely play our game towards the end. Not so much quiet the turn, just more shots. What I was seeing so much, yeah, our football is number one, definitely in terms of earlier. Big up Manj in the building. Also, let's see, really saying about Tino Livramento, I think he's worth it, to be honest. Exactly. Yes, in the player's ability, can't knock it. Big risk with the injury. I'd have liked to have seen him play another season at Southampton, but then the risk in that, if he has a top season in the Championship and Southampton come up like they are one of the favourites to, they're already demanding 50 million for Romeo Lavia. What would stop them from demanding top dollar when he is a Premier League player? And we've already seen the likes of the likes of Manchester City, they had that release clause, but Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea have been interested in Lavia. The same could happen with Tino Livramento next season. So it feels like Newcastle are jumping the gun to try and get ahead of those potential competitors in getting this signature of the young English right back. In another right back, England have been able to produce, but I think he's eligible to play for a few nations, I do believe. But yeah, we definitely for now, yeah, he's eligible to play for England as well. I haven't seen much waffle so far in my life. Could make a dinner, come back and tea still talking about Livramento. I didn't speak my mind that long, so I'm in 10 minutes yet. And then Fads asked there, another 17 minutes waffle about Livramento. No, that one there was 10 minutes. And he said it in Brazilian here. Comerciante de waffles, or Brazilian, i.e. Portuguese, for waffle merchant. He's even got it in translation. What did I say? I'm sorry. Big up Red Devil Yannick in the building also. And Paxton's giving us some breaking news here about Rasmus Højlund has just signed his 5-year contract with the option for a further year as a new Manchester United player. Done and sealed. Fab tweeted this about a minute ago. Let's see if I can get this tweet up for you right now. People from Fabrizio Romano, the man who is working extremely hard on this. And the first, when the initial came out for Tino Livramento, this was from David Ornstein. So yeah, give him props there. So yeah, all that's done. We're just waiting on the announcement from Manchester United for Rasmus Højlund, their striker, to Erik ten Hag's key man. And just on this, I was reading earlier that Man United, the recruitment team, were keen on Randall Kolo Muani. However, Erik ten Hag was adamant about Rasmus Højlund being his number one man, and Man United did a good job in landing Erik ten Hag's key player and number one target. And one thing you can't question about what the ownership of the Glazers have done during Ten Hag's reign is they have given him as a lot of trust in signings and done as much as they could really in getting those signings through the door. I know those of you are going to be thinking, yes, but he wanted Frankie de Jong, Tereak. But Frankie de Jong didn't want to come. I remember even seeing a tweet from Fabrizio Romano that there was an agreement between Barcelona and Man United, but they couldn't convince the player to make that move to Old Trafford. But every other player, you look at Malacia, when you look at Anthony, Lisandro, Casemiro, and then you've got now in this window Mason Mount, Andre Onana, Rasmus Højlund, and still could potentially get a Sofian Amrabat through the door. There's quite a bit of investment from Manchester United there. And I think, with the investment that comes, just like it has done with Mikel Arteta, is there will be a lot of pressure being added onto Manchester United this season to be successful, to kick on and improve stylistically and even statistically under Erik ten Hag from last season. But yes, I'm doing good, thank you. How are you today as well? Thank you for asking. I do appreciate it. You don't get that often, do you? But no, I know you also love me same way. The fact that you're here. Let the Haaland versus Højlund mistakes begin by the commentators. Yeah, especially in those Manchester derby games. It will be said. I've seen worse, for sure. Gary Neville voice. Ooh, yeah, you'll be hearing that a lot. Will be announced will be announced on the weekend will be announced at the weekend versus Lens, just like Varane. Yeah, Varane was announced, wasn't he? Was that in the first game of the season? Was it against Newcastle he was announced? Am I being right in saying that? Or Leeds? No, Leeds. That first game of the season, I remember. Yeah, he was announced, and Casemiro was announced at the Liverpool game. Also, Muani, for that price, nobody is buying him. Even if he performed, it would be way too much money. Yeah, 100 million they want for him. I think. Do you know what? I'm being honest, Pax. If Man United wanted him, they did want him. If Erik ten Hag was hot on him, I wouldn't be surprised if they put up the cash for him. We've seen a lot. You spent a lot of money on Rasmus Højlund, 85 million euros, up to with add-ons, 75 million euros, which equates to 70 million pounds. I think they would have. I really do think that they would have found a way. Maybe it would have been in the latter end of the window after a few sales were made. Donny van der Beek, who's looking like he could be joining Real Sociedad. Negotiations continue there. Fred, also, he's looking like he will leave before the window shuts, make a few bit of buck on that, which will help in terms of balancing the books from a transfer net spend point of view. But most importantly, which I always bang on this channel, which is what clubs really care about, is the wages, getting those players off the books. That's the main and important thing for them there. Big up Man U, says Tereak in the building. Højlund to be revealed like Varane and Casemiro, so obvious. Yeah, the journalist basically said a few days ago that he'll be officially announced on the weekend, visa and stuff and all of that. Okay, fair enough. I totally understand. I get that there. Big up each and every one of you vibes, Manch, Red Devil and Pax there, the Man United fans in the building. Spurs and Ty, but yeah, he says big up Man U. But now big up everyone. But yeah, just the Man United fans letting me know on that there. Spurs could buy Muani if sold Harry Kane. Yes, it's true. They are linked with him. And do you know what? Should we talk about Spurs now? Yeah, let's talk about Spurs because I got a few things to speak about there. Because Spurs, we had a here we go. I believe was it also from Fabrizio Romano about Mickey van de Ven. Let's have a look, because this is someone that has attracted interest from Liverpool, the Dutch of Wolfsburg player. Yep, from Fabrizio Romano. Understand Tottenham proposal sent to Wolfsburg on Wednesday for Mickey van der Ven was 40 million euros fixed fee plus 5 million euros in add-ons. So yeah, I'm sure there was more news about this. I'm sure there was. Oh, was it rejected? Hold on. Is it Van der Ven soon happening? We saw developments earlier on that it would be that they were close to reaching an agreement. So they haven't quite got to that agreement yet, from what I'm seeing. The Spurs have offered 45 million euros in total, but Wolfsburg want the 50, so they're not too far on that. But if they can't reach an agreement, Spurs are also working on the deal for Edmund Tapsoba, the Bayer Leverkusen player and Burkina Faso international, who has been linked to Premier League clubs in the past. He was linked to Arsenal before we signed Ben White. I remember that. because a lot of Arsenal fans were keen on him there. Big 6'4", this centre back. He plays for Bayer Leverkusen, and Bayer Leverkusen have produced some great players over the years. But Mickey van der Ven, left-footed centre back, they need them. Spurs fans that they'll speak to you, they'll say that they need both of them, not just one. Because if they bring one in and then they have an injury to either Romero or a Mickey van der Ven, they're left back to rely on Davinson Sanchez, and if he leaves, Eric Dyer and the likes of them. So Spurs fans will feel that they need two centre backs in to help with Ange Postecoglou this season. So it will be interesting. But if Spurs are going to be spending that sort of money, surely that means that they are that could mean a sale for Harry Kane, because we know how Spurs operate. They don't tend to spend a lot of money without recouping a lot of them in sales. We saw it last season, but that was the anomaly rather than the rule. And Spurs' transfer window has been they spent that 40 million on Maddison or around that fee, and bought Manor Solomon in on a free. But apart from that, they haven't really spent too much money. So that the fact that they're spending so much money now with Harry Kane's future linked away from the club is kind of interesting, because if he is to leave, they are doing it the right way, in my opinion. If he is to leave, if you're going to make a sale on a player, get the players that you want in first, because as soon as you make that sale and it's a big fee and it's well reported and everyone knows about it, the clubs that you're buying from will soon go, oh, we know how much cash you've got. We know how much you now need players or need replacements, whether it's in that position or other parts of the pitch. So we're going to be more stern in our asking price, or even potentially bump up the price even more. A la Declan Rice. And that's why West Ham are really struggling to sign players in that midfield position and elsewhere, because everyone knows how much money they've got now on the market. So I do think they are doing it in the right way from a business standpoint. Big up yourself. And if they do make the sale of Harry Kane, spend 40 to 50 million on potentially both, or around the same 90 to 100 million, and then spend 100 million on Kolo Muani. It's a lot of money that they've put in there, and I'm not sure if they will do that. Maybe they'll kick the can down the road and try and get a short-term replacement, someone like maybe a Mediterranean who's been linked with Manchester United, a cheaper option. And then next summer, Spurs will be hoping they'll be back in Europe, which is the fight for European places is going to be intense. There's going to be so many teams in and around there who could knock on that door for those positions. You've got Aston Villa, still got Brighton, still got Brentford potentially. There could be another outside team, which I think there will be. So that's a little bit of a teaser, I'd say, for the prediction show, which will be next week, guys. So make sure you do stay tuned in. Hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already, people, because the next week is going to be jam-packed, full of content, full of live streams. I'm going to be doing some recorded videos also for that. Maybe the one to watch. Maybe you'll see. But yeah, guys, stay tuned in. If you want more updates as they will roll through this weekend, hit the link in the description to join our Discord server. If one of you guys could dash that into the chat as well, it will be very much appreciated. But yeah, Spurs having an interesting window. I spent enough time speaking about Spurs there, but I think they'll have a good season. And if you watch that prediction show, if you are a Spurs fan, guys, get in the link in the description. Make sure you stay subscribed as well on here. Big up G Staffy. And you know what? This is a perfect time whilst we're talking about things that are coming from next week. Guys, join the Discord server, because G Staffy, our very own TTF OG in here, who manage the championship predictions. If those of you are interested in your championship football, or just like, getting your predictions out there, get in the Discord server. We've got a predictions league there. So it's just some fun. You get to compete up against the guys in the Discord server. G Staffy, who is a Middlesbrough fan. She is our very own championship correspondent right there. Can you beat her? Can you do that? Get in there and join. We've got plenty of stuff going on the Discord, and I want to be bringing even more stuff in there as well in terms of fun and engagement with you guys. So stay tuned on that this weekend. I might not be producing that much content apart from the Community Shield because I'm trying to get so much of this sorted. As for the season ahead, really looking forward to it. Right there. Thank you, Paxton, my brother. Right there. Let me pin that in the comments for you so that you can all join that. Appreciate you all. UV's in the building. Also, Mickey van der Ven is good for Spurs and he has good potential. Liverpool should be doing what Man City are doing now, rebuilding and keep on investing. Yeah, UV, I do recommend that you go and watch at least part of the last Tereak Talking Transfer Show. Spoke about Romeo Lavia, and I was quite underwhelmed with your summer, to be quite honest, so far. You are lacking a bit of that balance. I won't go into too much detail because we've got other topics to talk about. But he also says here, I think Tottenham are using their Kane money and will get a young striker to replace Kane and trust Richarlison for a year. And we'll go for a striker next summer. Strikers will go more and more. It's true, the market will be looking different next year. You'll have the likes of Evan Ferguson, potentially Victor Osimhen, Randall Kolo Muani might be a bit cheaper. Who knows? There could be other top prospects coming through. Who knows? Yeah, the market will be looking different this season. It is very. It is sparse, the strikers, and that's why the likes of Højlund are going for as much money as they are. Sorry, guys, I got itchy nose, man. So yeah, I'm not. It's not an itchy nose due to the things like Doja Cat's been doing. Okay, guys, don't worry about that. Big up Moss in the building, and is he going to mention something about the Yankees hat? I'm sorry. I do like the Yankees hats. It's a very fashionable thing to wear here in the UK. A lot of people wear Yankees hats, but yeah, I don't actually follow them or anything. But Forest may in trouble. I've not seen anything about that at all. One sniff, two sniff. Might do a cheeky Højlund versus Jesus, but because with Jesus' injury, just because I saw you ask that question actually a bit earlier. Hey, yo, wild one with Jesus, the injury. He's had to have keyhole surgery just to clean up on the area that he suffered the knee injury with last season. So it might be a few weeks, but it might be a few months. Who knows? It's hard to judge with Arsenal. And with when Arteta says it gives a timeline, because I remember Tomiyasu Zinchenko in the last 2 seasons, he said, yeah, he might be back in the next game. Who knows? It turned out to be out for months. Saliba, there's another one. Of course, we were getting strong along each week. Saliba might be back. We don't know. They end up missing the rest of the season from April. They're not in. But yeah, the next transfer that we will talk about, and potentially the final one, unless there is any breaking news, guys, let me know in the chat if there is. It will be very much appreciated if you see me looking my left, your right. That's still looking at you guys at the screen. And what I've got here is the Robert Sanchez deal. And I do think this one's quite interesting because he's been brought in to be backup for Kepa Arrizabalaga. But yes, Robert Sanchez, this was announced by David Ornstein earlier as well. So busy day for the journalists. But yes, Brighton Hove Albion have agreed a deal with Chelsea for goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. The Spain international expected to undergo a medical imminently. So that could be today or tomorrow potentially. Chelsea have been targeting the 25-year-old as competition for Kepa following Mendy's departure. And the fee is in the region of £25 million, which is £20 million up front and £5 million in add-ons. And that is a lot of money for Brighton's third choice goalkeeper. But I think there is good reason for Chelsea to do this. And I'm sorry, I don't like praising Chelsea too much, but I will be honest. The reason why I think Chelsea have gone on the higher end of this and sweetened Brighton a bit more, who have they been long-term interested in? Moises Caicedo. So if they're trying to build back that relationship after Chelsea have taken a lot of Brighton's staff in terms of the recruitment team, took Graham Potter and Bruno Saltor, have taken the likes of Mark Cucurella also. But they're trying to, kept Levi Colwill away from them as he signed an extension there. So maybe this is something to try and sweeten them up a bit, trying to bridge and build those bridges towards their relationship. That's a little thing of why I think they might have sweetened them up a bit there. But I also think that They could be playing 4D chess. I tweeted this out earlier. 25 million for Brighton's third choice goalkeeper. Brentford could be looking at that situation and be saying, hold on. If they've just paid 25 million for a third choice goalkeeper, we've got David Raya. Yes, he's got a year left in his contract. But we've got our first choice goalkeeper, and Arsenal want to pay around 25 million pounds for him. Sorry, we're going to be adamant on our whatever fee they're fixed on. 30, 40 million. We've seen 40 million earlier in the window. They could be adamant on that, which could mean Arsenal. I know how Arsenal operate. They won't pay that if they don't feel that he is worth it. I'll be very surprised if they did go above 30 million Arsenal. To be quite honest, even in total, even if it was like 25 million and 5 million in add-ons, given the fact Arsenal put 15 million pounds in their first bid, apparently, and that was rejected straight away. Maybe they're working something about that. But yeah, just in terms of the transfer of Robert Sanchez, I don't think it's a good one. A goalkeeper who has been error prone in his time at Brighton and Hove Albion. Yes, when he's good, he plays well. But the fact that he got replaced by Jason Steele last season, a 32-year-old keeper, De Zerbi, he's not a big fan of Robert Sanchez at all. And he lost his place to him. They brought in a Bart Verbruggen from Anderlecht to come in and be the second choice ahead of him. And they were looking to sell him on. And for him to be back up to Kepa, who's, shaking in himself, you kind of want. And the fact that Chelsea were looking at better goalkeepers earlier in the window in Andre Onana and Mike Maignan, I don't think it's a good deal. And to spend that much amount of money on a player that is going to be here for the short term, I'm not a fan of this deal. On his day, it's hard to really rate goalkeepers because the way you got to rate them is by, are they consistent? Are they prone to an error? Which Robert Sanchez certainly is, with the ball at his feet, whether he drops a clanger, whether he lets an easy shot in. Hey, I'm not a big fan of that deal at all. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. If you are a Chelsea fan, get in the comments. Or if you're someone that's watched or a big fan of Robert Sanchez, let me know, enlighten me. Because I'm more than open to change my opinion if you guys can. But I'm not a big fan of Robert Sanchez. I had him on my FPL and he let me down. And I had to get rid of him. At the start of the season, I had to get rid of him, man. Couldn't trust him. Big up each and every one of you in here. Let's have a look. When a manager says it a few weeks, it's worrying. Exactly, it is. They don't give you a timeline. But Arteta doesn't like to give timelines on players. Doesn't like to put that pressure on them. Now, legit, I saw you set a tweet saying a few weeks ago with Teta doesn't actually mean that. Yeah, he doesn't. When he says something, he don't mean he don't worry. I won't take his words for it. And the news that Paxton broke here, Nottingham Forest owe millions in unpaid bonuses to players and fees to agents. Bonuses to those who have left the club were due at the end of July. Some considering legal action. Woo! Mike Keegan, I'm sure is he from the Daily Mail or might have been previously. Woo! So all of those transfers that Nottingham Forest got through last season in the summer and in January are coming back to bite them. It did seem a ridiculous amount that even on a financial point of view, how are they going to pay that even if they're still up in the Premier League, which they did, and they're struggling now to pay these bonuses. Is it financially are they struggling, or is it just from the administrative standpoint where, I forgot about this bonus, let's go pay that there? Who knows? I'm sure it's the former in terms of being a financial issue for them, especially if they're trying to strengthen the squad for this summer with the likes of Anthony Elanga. Oh, there could be some deep trouble there with the Premier League with this. There could be in some deep trouble, and even if it's not from a competition standpoint where they get deducted points or anything like that, from a financial standpoint, it could be huge implications on that there. So thank you for bringing that in, Pax. I really do appreciate that. Chelsea buying keepers has been a nightmare for years. Over 100 million for Kepa and Sanchez is crazy. When you put it in that perspective, it is mind-blowing for a position that isn't sound at all now. You know, everything you hear a lot about Manchester City and how much they spent on fullbacks, but at least their fullbacks eventually, after spending so much money, looked good and well. That they're not even top for me. They're not. Neither of those keepers are in the top 5 in the Premier League at all. Are they even in the top 10? No. For me, they're not in the top 10 goalkeepers. I'm saying that now in the Premier League. That is crazy. I'd even put Kelleher above Kepa from what I've seen in his in his odd few games that he plays for Liverpool. Crazy, man. That's ridiculous. Moss saying from about earlier, £78 million is done for Gvardiol. Wow, I thought it was going to be more like 90 mil. So yeah, 90 million euros. It is 90 million euros. You'll see that reported, but which equates to £78 million. German club always finding quality players. Yeah, they will find a good replacement. They are after Gestruda from Feyenoord, who had a very good season there. And what's his name now? What's his name? The one that Spurs wanted. It's not Peter Bosch. No, it's not that. Who's the final manager? It's escaping me. I know what he looks like. He rejected Spurs. Arne Slot, that's the one. He had a very good season with him there. And I believe they're also looking at another target as well, Leipzig. Fabrizio Romano did tweet this earlier. In fact, so Lustra Gestruda. But yeah, they are looking for someone else. Oh yeah, Castello Lukba from Lyon. They had a bid rejected there, so they're looking at a left-footed centre back in Castello Lukba. So yeah, should be interesting. Interesting. Found it weird when Sanchez got dropped and replaced by somebody I ain't seen before. He was on the Sunderland Till I Die documentary, and he was a shocking goalkeeper then. But he's on a different level now. He's kicking. Whoa! You seen his assist for Mitoma last season against Brentford? Yeah, his kicking's out of this world. When I watched him play against Arsenal, he's putting it on a sixpence for the likes of Evan Ferguson and Dennis Undav. Also in other news, Gonzalo Ramos, 80 million euros. Lord have mercy. This striker market is so peak. Exactly. He was their alternative option to Rasmus Højlund. They did want to get the Danish international, but he went to Manchester United in the end. That's ridiculous amounts of money. And this is the striker market. This is the transfer market in general. This is why Caicedo is being touted at 100 million, and they're quite adamant on that. In their point of view. And in other news as well, Paxton breaking, the hijack officially completed. We spoke about West Ham earlier. They have been hijacked for Carlos Borges from Manchester City. Ajax have got it. They've got their man. Disappointing once again from West Ham, from a West Ham perspective. But hey, you were so adamant. I'm looking at it from an Arsenal fan point of view. You were so adamant on your transfer fee. Maybe you should have started looking to buy alternatives in before you sold Declan Rice, but you didn't, did you? Yeah, crazy. Is Sanchez even an upgrade on Kepa team? Absolutely not. He's not an upgrade. No, he's not. I don't even think Kepa's that good. But with the ball at his feet, he's a better goalkeeper than Sanchez, and that's what Mauricio Pochettino is going to be wanting from his goalkeepers, even from a save perspective, even from like a shot stopping, claiming crosses. I'm trusting Kepa over Sanchez. Sanchez is taller. That's it. That's the only advantage he has. But even that, height doesn't mean anything when you can't catch a ball or can't catch a cold. Not at all. Yeah, not a great signing in my point of view. Unless if they're able to sell him on for around about that fee, but when they do sell him on, because I don't think he's going to be staying at Chelsea for a while, I'm that confident, and they are able to get a Caicedo in for cheaper, potentially, maybe that it'll work out well and be good business, but for now, it's not at all. Sanchez is very up and down. Sometimes he's great, sometimes he's poor. Got benched by Steele for a reason. Yeah, but exactly. You can't have the sometimes he's great. You need to have on the odd occasion that he's poor from your goalkeeper. Do you get me? And that's why he got benched in the end. You can't have them inconsistencies, but you are absolutely spot on in your analysis of him there. And yes, guys, I think yeah, just let me get through a few more comments and we'll play our game before we wrap up this stream. West Ham have signed 0 players. Crackheads just looking at the Rice money, then going home. Exactly that. The West Ham, could be a tricky season for them. Prediction show next week. I've said that about 10 times now. I'm going for Konza over Varane. What? Hold on. Casemiro's not at his best, so I'll pick Douglas Luiz. Yeah. Gabby on Talksport, go to his house here and sort him out. Yeah, he won't be too far from me at all. He's just trying to wind up a lot of Man United fans after his comments about the Maguire and Onana situation. He's saying no, he shouldn't be shouting at him like that, brother. You've played football. You have played football. Your goalkeepers will be shouting at your centre backs. And he said, "Oh, he should only shout at him when a goal goes in." I'm sorry. It's actually worse to shout at someone when a goal goes if they have an error that leads to a goal. Because to be honest, you don't need to tell them. You don't need to give them a shouting. They know what they've done and they know the mistake. But it's much better to shout at them when the mistake hasn't led to a goal, because then you can get your point across and then they can realize, you're the one that made that error there. You need to sort that out. Why are you playing it to Eriksen in that situation? No, all on Onana for shouting at him there. To be honest, I was, because it's Gabby Agbonlahor, you just can't really listen to a single word that he's saying. That's mad. I'm not even going into that part. That's ridiculous. Konza over Varane, Douglas Luiz over Casemiro. That don't even happen for his nation. Cool. Anyways, let's go into the game now, guys. I want to do this with you. I'm going to do this with you right here. Let's go. You remember this game? You remember what we played last time? It was terrible. I haven't even looked at who's on it now. I need to share my screen with you. Crossover grid. Let's go. Let's get this up. Smash a like if you haven't done so already, guys. We've talked about our transfers. Go check that out for the previous 56 minutes that we've been live for here. And to answer King's question before I bring it up on screen, will you do a Premier League prediction show before the season starts? Yes, I will do. That will be brought to you on Thursday. On Thursday, the Premier League prediction show. So, yeah, we'll be doing a lot of things going into the new Premier League season. I still got plenty of stuff to go through as well next week, but you will be providing more updates, times, and schedule that on this weekend. So yeah, we'll let you definitely will be doing that Premier League prediction show, and the preview show will be back on Thursday as well. But let me bring this up for you now, guys. Could have done that whilst I was answering the question, but you know me, not great at multitasking, am I? But yeah, let me change the background. Let me get this comment off the screen. We're not doing the NBA one. I do apologize. That's not the one there. That was yesterday's one that popped up. Okay. So Chelsea, Atletico. Okay. So the teams we got: Chelsea, Atletico, Juventus, Fulham, Arsenal, and Portugal. Okay. Let's go into this then. Let me scroll down. Change the background. Can you guys see this well? Can you? Let me know in the comments if you can see everything A-OK, if everything is crisp, everything irie. You understand? Yes. Let's go. Let me take this banner off as well, because yeah, that's blocking up bits of the screen. So let's go. Chelsea, Atletico Madrid. First player that I'm thinking of that comes to mind, Felipe Luis. You got Thibaut Courtois in there as well. That comes to my mind. If you never played this game before, what you need to do is look at in each box, so it's Chelsea, an Atletico Madrid player, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid player, Portugal, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Juventus, Arsenal, Juventus, Portugal, Juventus. You get the gist. You get the gist of it here. Chelsea. So yeah, I'm starting off with the Chelsea, Atletico Madrid. Thibaut Courtois, Felipe Luis. Was it that midfielder? Wasn't Thiago one as well? Do you remember that? Was he Portuguese? Was he Brazilian? The midfielder? It might be that brother there. He played for both, didn't he? Bam! Boom! Jeez! I remember mine, man. I knew that one would be good. Who's this for, Gelson? Who's Gelson Martins for? Vibe saying Gelson Martins. Who did he play for? Portugal and Atletico. Shout. Good shout. Yes. Schürrle, Chelsea for Fulham. True. Could do Loftus-Cheek. I might do Loftus-Cheek, you know. Did you see the cheats in the group? They went went to the school of Phillips. I haven't checked the group out in terms of this yet. I haven't checked this out. Athletic Portugal. I thought so. I did thought so. Oh, wow, you're doing this again. Yes, I love this game. It's just something to get you guys involved. I went for a great shout there in Thiago, central midfielder. He played for Portugal, didn't he? I could have done him for the Atletico Portugal one, to be honest. But yeah, central midfielder, I remember. Had some Thiago for Juve in Portugal. Did he play for Atletico and thingy as well? He might have. He was a flop at Chelsea. I know that. Was that my phone ringing? Sorry. Everyone knows about Loftus-Cheek, but say less. Yeah, I might go elsewhere. Let's do Chelsea, Juventus. Who's playing? I'm struggling here now, guys. Name me a player that has played for Chelsea and Juventus. Oscar scored against Juventus. He didn't play for them. Dennis Zakaria. I guess that's the first one that comes to mind. Morata, Cuadrado. Yes, Morata says vibes. Cuadrado, indeed, says Moss. Morata's. That's hard. I'm trying to go for the most obscure pick as well, guys. So if I don't pick yours, that's the reason. Cuadrado and Morata, I feel like they might be quite close in that. Who did I say? Anelka. Let me go for Nicholas Anelka. Is that bait? Is Nicholas Anelka bait? Yes. Yeah, Vibes put that in as well. I didn't even see it. How about old school? Hey, my brother, that Gianluca Vialli. Did he play for both? Hey, are you Moss? Give me. Are you 100% confident he played for both? He might, because I know he played for Chelsea. Should we go for Vialli? Yo, shall I do it? Shall I do it? Do I do it? And I'm feeling Anelka, man. Which one will be less obscure? Which one will be more obscure? Anelka or Vialli? Vialli unfairly sacked by Chelsea as well. Yeah, he was a player manager, wasn't he? I believe he was. Pax, I believe he was. Do I go for it? Do I send it? Do I full send it? Boom. I think did Mutu play for Juventus? Did he? Oh, I don't know. I know he played for Chelsea and he got done for the for sniffing. He's saying go for it. Yes, Moss. My brother, 6.1%. Jeez. My brother, that. Thank you, Moss. Thank you. Yes, he did play for both. Chelsea and Fulham. Paxton says Schürrle. I think that's a good shout. I think it's a quite obscure one too. More Ola Aina, maybe? He was only on loan. Volts? Wasn't Volts? Didn't Volts play for Chelsea? Did Maritz Volts? Do you remember he scored a bad goal? He played for Chelsea. Am I right in saying that? I'm gonna go for it. No! He didn't play for Chelsea. Idiot. Oh man. No. I couldn't do it. Shall I start over? Guys? Shall I start over and do it again and give you guys the shout? Can I start over? Start over. We won't snitch. Okay, I'll start over. You didn't see anything? There's a glitch happening right now. Yeah, I don't know. It just glitched out. Yeah, this game, I can't believe it glitched out on me. Vialli. Oh, Moss, you gave me that one. Who do I go for? Ola Aina. Bro, fumbled already. One more take. Hey, who do I go for? Schürrle, Loftus-Cheek, Ola Aina. I know Ola Aina played for Chelsea and them. Lucas Piazon. Should I do Lucas Piazon again? Should I do Lucas? Christian Atsu. Did Atsu play for them as well? Bro, there's loads. I might do the Piazon one. Yeah. 2.5%. No. Who got that? Was that? Yes, King. Was that 0.32? Who got? What was the answer? Was that for Chelsea Fulham? If it was for Chelsea Fulham, let me know. If it wasn't, then don't. Who got the 0.32% answer, please? And what was the answer? While she's sending that in, Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Thomas Partey's bait. Lucas Torreira. Lucas Torreira. Who else? Is there any more obscure ones? Or do you have any obscure ones? All I can think of is Partey and Lucas Torreira. Who else? Anyone else? Did anyone else play? Tereak got Arsenal, Fulham. Next one. I got one. Some brother C Walker. It was Martin. He's cheating. Martin's on our age vibes. He's not getting that. He's not getting that without cheating. C Walker. Who's he on about? But anyways. Oh, Reyes. It's a shout that. R.I.P. Reyes is a good one. Anyone else? Anyone else has got any players for this? Arsenal, Atletico Madrid. Okay, exclusive. Hold on. Pause this game. Arsenal have submitted opening bid for David Raya to Brentford tonight. The proposal is worth £20 million fixed fee plus 3 million in add-ons. Will that get accepted? Who knows? It's less than Robert Sanchez altogether. Same in terms of 20 million. Pax, let me know if that gets accepted or not. Because that's interesting. Julio Baptiste didn't play for Atletico, did he? Did he play for Atletico, Moss? Are you sure? Reyes is one that I'm thinking. Yeah. We signed him from Atletico, didn't we? Our record fee at the time. Guys, I need it. Nah, that was Real. Yeah, wrong Madrid. Yeah. It was definitely Real Madrid. I remember that. I knew it was Real Madrid. We got him on loan. Do I go Reyes? Do I go Lucas Torreira? Anyone else? I can't really think. I'm going to go Reyes. R.I.P. Where is he? Huh? Is it that one? Yeah, 10%, 16. Oh, I'll take that. 16%. Mwah. Muchas gracias. Big up vibes for that. Muchas gracias. Arsenal, Juventus. We saw Bentner played for them. I'm sure Bentner played for them. Nicholas Bentner played for Juventus. You've got Anelka. You've got Szczesny. You've got Thierry. Yeah, you got Henry. You got Vieira. Yeah, we got you. Liam Brady. Do you reckon Bentner's going to be the most obscure one? Nicholas Bentner played for them, right? I'm correct in saying that. I'm not putting in that answer. Unless you can confirm that. I'm not cheating. None of you cheat as well. No, none of you cheat. Yeah, King said no, Real. Ramsey. Yes. Good shout. Forgot about that move. I feel like, yeah, he did. I feel like, yeah, Ramsey. Yeah, I feel like that was a good shout, Moss. I forgot about that. Good shout, Moss. I'm going to go Bentner, though. I'm quite... Yeah, 10%. I'll take that. Lichtsteiner. I was just spat all over the place. Sorry. Lichtsteiner. Indeed. GK. GK? Well, Szczesny. Oh, you're on about Szczesny? You have to go Frimpong on this one. Arsenal, Fulham. Frimpong. Did he play for Fulham? Did he play for Fulham? You got Leno, you got Willian. Did Emmanuel Frimpong play for Fulham? Did he? Ian, big up Ian in the building. Willian, Defo, the first one that come to mind. Okay, Fairs, he was on yours. Hey, I bet it was a low percentage as well. Leno Chambers, excellent. Moss is good at this game. Moss is good at this game, to be fair to him. You guys are smashing it. I'm trying to think. So we got for Fulham, Willian. It's a big up Ian in the building. We got Emmanuel Frimpong. I feel like Frimpong's the best shout. Pick him for the score. What about Luis Boa Morte? Shout and a heart. Hold on. I think Emmanuel Frimpong's even more obscure than Boa Morte, but Moss, that is a good one. Do you know what we'll do after? I'll get my score on that, copy that, move it to the side, and then we'll do your guys' shouts and see if your most obscure ones are better. So let's do Emmanuel Frimpong then. Frimpong. 1.9%. Oh, that was quality. That is a clash shout. Luis Belmonte, Fulham and Portugal. Oh, I reckon I could think of a... is Fabio Carvalho playing for... Is he playing for Portugal? You know, the one who's at Liverpool now? Is he playing for Portugal? Fulham and Portugal or Luis Belmonte? Luis Belmonte, Portugal and Fulham. Yeah, I was thinking that. Anyone else? Any other shouts to Portugal and Fulham? I can't really see many Portuguese players apart from Luis Belmonte and Thingy. Cedric Suarez. I reckon Cedric Suarez is a good shout. Is Cedric a good shout? Because he didn't really play many games. I know it's more recent, so a lot of guys will probably go for that one. Cedric. Any obscure ones? Anyone like name like a backup player who was Portuguese for Fulham? Anyone in the Moss? Anyone in those Europa League days? Vibes? Anyone? Didn't they have some Portuguese winger? Ivan Cavaleiro. Yes. Paulo Portugal Atletico. Yo. See, I don't even know who that is. Paulo Forte. Hold on. He was a quality player, says Moss. I believe you. But Ivan Cavaleiro, I think that's who you're on about. I'm going to go for that one. He's played for Wolves. Portugal Wolves. Ivan Cavaleiro. 14%. Could have done better. Good shout, though. Good shout. We'll try the other ones, the alternative ones. That's the guy who got him confused for Carvalho, who went to Liverpool. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I don't know if he's declared for Portugal, because I know he's eligible to play for England as well. Portugal and Juventus is going to be ridiculous. Ronaldo, of course, Cristiano. I'm probably missing out some mad legends here too. I need to think of some really obscure ones, though. Anyone off the top of my head? Any Football Manager or FIFA guys? Portuguese, Ronaldo, and guys, I'm quite stuck on this one. Apart from Ronaldo, and I'm not going Cristiano because that's too bait, way too obvious. Anyone else? Portugal and Juventus. Let me know in the chat. As we play in this game to wrap up our stream, whatever you guys is to. Yeah, you had that one. Yeah, that's the guy I've got here. So Vibe says, now on this, I had the guy called Thiago, who was 4%. Not sure if that was a guy. He played for, this is Thiago. He played for literally everyone apart from Fulham and Arsenal in there. Chelsea, Atletico, Juventus. Yeah, he did. Eusebio. Ooh, did he play for Juventus? Yeah, that's Thiago Mendes, isn't that? That's this Thiago, isn't it? That's this Thiago. Is there many? I don't know if there's many. Let's hold on that one. We'll go back to Portugal and Atletico. There's been loads. I know there's been loads because obviously Portugal's right next door to Spain. I've been loads, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Who's played for them? Who was Cedric? Was Cedric there? If Martin can cheat, so can we. Paulo Sousa, Andre. Who's Andre? We're gonna do Atletico and Portugal for now. Name a player that's Portuguese and he's played for Atletico de Madrid. So you've got currently, who's in the current squad that's Portuguese? I can't even think. You got Black, no, Felipe's Brazilian. Even in a good one, even in the good teams, did they don't. Me and names, I'm useless. I'd be getting way too high scores. Low score on Martins. Gelson Martins? You said Gelson Martins. I think that might be the best one. Did Jeffrey Brumer? You know what? Did Brumer play for Atletico Madrid? You know the one that played for Galatasaray, that left winger was mad quick on FIFA back in the day. Did he play for Atletico Madrid? Do you know, for some stupid reason, I've got Nuno Tavares in my head because I always start selling on my career mode to Atletico Madrid for some reason. Oh, man, struggling here. Hugo Lille. What? Huh? Who is that guy? Who is that guy? I have absolutely no idea. What? 1980s? Are you cheating now? You're cheating. You're cheating. Hold on. Fair enough. No. He did say it. Martin's Google list again. See, all right. I'm gonna look, vibes cheating more obvious than Juve. Exactly. Okay, Gelson Martins. That's the only one. Paulo Sousa. Did he play for Juventus and Portugal, or was that the thingy one? Let me know. I'm struggling. I've got 2 left. Juventus and Portugal. Did Jeffrey Brumer play for them? Trust when you check the group chat in the group, it's madness. I'm gonna have to check this out. I'm gonna call him out. We're gonna do it. You man have probably already called him out. I know what you guys are like. Paulo Sousa, Gelson. Yeah, okay, Gelson Martins. Thank you. Muchas gracias. 4.5 now. Quality. Juventus, Portugal. Juventus and Portugal. Okay. Oh, so it was Inter, not Juve. And that's okay. No worries, man. No worries. He checked it up. Now, appreciate you there, Moss. Okay, last one. Portugal and Juventus. Can anyone think of anyone apart from Cristiano Ronaldo? Anyone else? Did Paulo Ferreira, maybe? Another one that's played for Chelsea. Ricardo Carvalho? Did Pepe play for Juventus at any point in his career? Any legends like a Rui Costa? Anyone like that? I don't know. Figo, no. I'm struggling here, guys. Portugal, Juve, all legends. Any obscure? There's surely, but you know what I mean, Pax. You know, like there's some like dead, like 60 rated player on FIFA. Only Cancelo. Forgot Cancelo was there. Dude, I forgot that. You know, some that average centre back. Did Bruno Alves ever play for them? Do you remember him? Do you remember Bruno Alves? He was ugly, but he was also a terrible footballer. Eusebio played for Toronto Metros. Did he? Back in them days? Goal Cancelo. Cancelo might be the best, you know. But they signed him directly. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. I want to go for play. Yeah, you can Cancelo. I like to go for players that say I mean, it's not signed directly. I mean, he's just a bait player. I'm on man about just scrap what I've said there. You can't sign a player from Portugal directly. Yeah, Cancelo. He might be the one. I'm clicking on that screen. João Cancelo. João Cancelo. 38%. Look at that score. You guys smashed it. Let's see what the top picks were, anyways. We have Felipe Luis, of course. Cuadrado for Chelsea and Juventus. Willian for Chelsea and Fulham. Partey for Arsenal and Atletico. Thierry Henry for Arsenal and Juventus. Bern Leno for Arsenal and Fulham. João Felix for Atletico Madrid and Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo was the highest one. Oh, yeah, João Palhinha. Forgot about him. Jorge Andrade. See, this is crazy. But I want to see what. So let me copy that. Let me copy that grid right there. Yeah. Got that score. We've seen it all. 98.65. Thanks to your help, guys. Thanks to your help. But let's see. So we went. I went Thiago. Moss went for Gianluca Vialli. I went for Lucas Piazon. And this guy is my legend on this. You play for Reading as well. So if there is a Reading one that pops up, you can put him in there. And Huddersfield, I believe. Jose Antonio Reyes for Arsenal, Atletico Madrid. I need to stop doing these accents. Nicholas Bentner. He played for Juventus and Arsenal. My crazy brain knew that. And vibes, this is the lowest one, yeah, and you smashed it here. Emmanuel Frimpong. I did not know he played for Fulham. And Gelson Martins, you smashed that one there as well, vibes. João Cancelo and Ivan Cavaleiro. Mandem, you smashed it. Felipe, wasn't he Brazilian? Wasn't he Brazilian, no king? I believe he is Brazilian. Big up my brother Enz in the building as well. Hope you're doing good, my bro. But yeah, this is a good score. I like this score. I'm in the top 1,000. No, I'm not. I'm not even in the top 1,000. I'm just outside the top 1,000 in there. But yeah, I want to see some of your shouts though, guys. I want to see if they had a lower percentage than these guys. So let me keep this page here. Actually, let me keep this page, and then I'll add another one for you here. Let me just drag that out. I'm gonna keep this page just so I can compare. So we're not going back and remembering. Crossover grid, bang, slap that here, there, and yeah, let's share this screen. Let's share the next one. Share that one. Bang. Big up my brother Ends each and every time. So, what were the ones that you went for? Happy Wheels. What a game that was back in the day at school. If you don't know about Happy Wheels, you know now. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what were some of the shots that you went for? Did we have? I'm going to scroll up in the chat now. Scroll up in the chat. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Okay, so we had Schürrle. Let's see how Schürrle for Chelsea and Fulham was. He played for Juventus. Didn't Schürrle play for Juventus as well? We'll check that in a sec. Schürrle, 12%. 12%. So Piazon. I knew Piazon was going to win that. Yeah, but good shout, Pax. Good shout there. Who else did we have? We had Morata for Chelsea. Well, you could do a Chelsea Atletico, Chelsea Juventus. Yeah, you could have done all three of them. Chelsea, Atletico, and Juventus have had a lot of players between each other. A bit dodgy, that. Quadrado. Yeah, Quadrado is one of the top ones. Anelka for Chelsea and Juventus. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look how that one did. 11%. So who did we get? Who did we do? Wrong tab. Let's go on here. We did Gianluca Vialli. So big up Moss for that one there. But now, good shout. 11% is still quite low. Mutu, yeah, was you saying for Chelsea and Juventus? I don't. Mutu, we was unsure if this is the case. Oh, Moss! Round of applause. Massive shout. That was lower than Vialli as well? I should have went with the initial shout. Moss, big up yourself each and every time, man. It's a great one. Good shout, that. Moss that's a good shout, Moss. Damien Duff for Chelsea and Fulham. Let's have a look how he did. Damien Duff. I didn't even see this one earlier in the chat. 10%, which was wrong tab again. What am I going towards? Still not as good as Lucas Piazon, but good shout there, Moss. Whoa, what are you zooming in like that for? Hold on. I can't even see start over now. I'm not even doing that one. Reyes, we did that. Baptista, that wasn't one in the end. Liam Brady, Arsenal, Juventus. They don't even have a picture. They don't even have a picture. Well done, vibes. I mean, Google. Nah, they don't even have a picture. Class. Whoever put Leon Brady is defo cheating. Unless it's Moss. I just feel like I feel like Moss would have got that one. Arsenal, Juventus, Lichtsteiner. How do you spell his name? Let me just put Stefan. There he is. Lichtsteiner. 13%, quite high. Was that higher than with the others? Was Bentner? Bentner was a better pick. Good shout. Good shout on Mars and King. Yeah, I'm sure Ramsey and that would have been high. I know. I'm quite positive on that one. Yeah. Terry, telling you when you saw his list, School of Phillips. Joe. Jimmy Floyd. Did he play for Juventus and Atletico? Was that Juventus? Diego Costa. True. Diego Costa. I'm sure he was a high one. Should we check Diego Costa's percentage? Diego Costa. 11. That's quite low. That is quite low, you know. I'm not even gonna lie. Did he play for them? Oh, Moss in a building. My brother, that he's class at this. Unless you're cheating now, let me know. I might hold off on the praise if you're cheating now, but nah, fair play, fair play. Jimmy Floyd was that play on Chelsea, boom. 2.4%. That's even lower than Thiago. This world. But now, guys, is there any more that I'm missing that you guys chose? Any more? Any more? That Hugo Lille. Who was that for now? Atletico in Portugal. Nah. Who's cheating? Who is my man? What is that? That is horrid. That is horrid. George Andrade. Who's he for? Who was the George Andrade one for? Look for that one. Nah, I'm aiming for this one. Nah, not Arsenal. What am I doing? Which one was the George Andrade one for, guys? I completely forgot. Which one was Portugal and Juve? Oh, okay. You see, 1.5%. Now that's massive cheating. But guys, now I appreciate you all. Thank you for your help on this one. We absolutely smashed this one, guys. Really do appreciate you. Look at that grid right there. Tweeting it. No tweet yet. No tweet yet. Check out the score. Go on. Boom. Look at that. 98. Anything below 100, you guys deserve it. Rui Barrios. Who's that? I remember Lucas Barrios, but he was Paraguayan. But yeah, now big up each and every one of you. Now, I appreciate your help and support. And guys, just as we're breaking, Nottingham Forest for their financial troubles exclusive, Nottingham Forest have submitted an official bid to AS Roma for Roger Ibanez. Proposal worth around 25 million euros fee. Negotiations underway to reach an agreement. Forest are pushing, even with the rumours. The report from Mike Keegan from the Daily Mail talking about their unpaid bonuses. They're still splashing that cash for talent across Europe. Forest trying to strengthen out their squad. I'm going to have a look at their squad in depth. I know they got smashed 5-0 by Rennes the other day. Jeremy Doku was on fire. Manchester City target now, of course. I was actually looking for not for us to sign as a priority, but towards the end of the window, if Arsenal were to look for a right winger. But now Man City are in there for him, probably not, unless they get Michael Elise. Maybe Jeremy Doku might be there after all. I said on was it Realistic Stream? Yeah. If push came to shove, Moss and Pax is going to kill me for this. I know he is, but if push came to shove, deadline day, Arsenal don't have a right winger sorted, go on that free market and get Adama Traore. Mad. I know it's crazy. Desperation. Beggars can't be choosers. Adama Traore to Arsenal if he doesn't have a club by then. I'm telling you now. Back up for Saka. That's all I'm saying, guys. But big deal there. Let me have a look also whilst we're at it about that David Raya thing, if we've seen any more news on that. Gianluca Prestiani. I've signed him a few times on Football Manager. Good little plays. The Argentinian international. No, he's not international, but yeah. David Raya. Let's have a look. Raya. Was it David Ornstein? It was Fabrizio that tweeted that out, in fact. Interesting. I don't think that'll get accepted. I really don't think that'll get accepted. I'm not confident about that. But yeah, should be interesting indeed. Yeah, time to go after that Adama one. Pace Merchant, but rather than Pepe. But yeah, better than Pepe. Exactly. Will Forrest be forced to make sales? Let's take Awoniyi. Not a big fan. He's a good striker, but not for us, not for Arsenal. And Danilo. He did all right last season. If I had to take one of them, it did definitely be Danilo. But yeah, Awoniyi, decent striker for the Premier League level. But not this. I think Everton would be a great place for him with Sean Dyche. But yeah, guys, love and respect to you all. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. We will be back again, of course, tomorrow for the Community Shield preview. We'll be here for that. We'll be talking a little bit about Arsenal's pre-season and the game coming up for the Community Shield. And then on the Saturday, nice rest day. Sunday, Community Shield. We'll be doing that over here on Tereak Talks. I'm not sure whether I'm doing a watch along yet. Depends on how busy the house is. But basically, see if we got, because I've got family meant to be coming round. And then, but definitely will be bringing you a match reaction either way. So, yeah, guys, take care. God bless. And I'll be leaving you out right now. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday, whatever time it is. And take care. We're out.